Three really comforting things from John 16. First is Jesus knowing our thoughts and answering us before we even muster up the courage to ask him. He says, "A little while and you'll no longer see me, and a little while again and you will see me." So some of his disciples said to one another, what does this mean? So we do not know what he is talking about. Jesus knew that they wanted to question him, and he said to them, "Are you deliberating together about this?" First, comfort. He knows our confusion or our lack of understanding and our desire to ask him. And he just goes ahead and says, "Were you thinking about this? Were you wanting to ask me about this?" And he just answers. So kind. First comfort, he knows our thoughts. Second comfort, it's only a little while that we don't see him before we do see him again. Just a little while, guaranteed. He says, "I will see you again." Truly I say to you that you will weep and mourn, but the world will rejoice. You will grieve, but your grief will be turned to joy. Whenever a woman's in labor, she's in pain because her hour has come. But when she gives birth, she no longer remembers the anguish because of the joy that a child's been born. Therefore you too have grief now, but I will see you again, and your heart will rejoice, and no one is going to take your joy away from you. The best. Third comfort related to that waiting for his coming is that we can go through our hour of suffering and hardship and pain, because as soon as it passes, because it will pass, we are turned to joy. Turned to joy because we've gone through that labor, that trial is done, and now it's just joy. That's a future reality that's not that far away. Is the suffering is a thing of the past, and the joy is here to stay. And the way he says it, he's told them these things, the fact that he came from heaven, he's going back to heaven, and then he's going to come back down again. A joy will come, lasting joy will come, a joy that nobody can take from us. I mean, we can have that now, is what he's saying. I'm telling you these things, how it's functioning, what's going to happen, so that when you go through the hard parts, you can still hold on to the joy that is knowing the big picture, that is having him right now. Like he told us ahead of time what we would experience, so that we're prepared for it, and so that we know it's just a passing part before lasting eternal joy. I came forth from the Father and have come into the world. Again, I am leaving the world and going to the Father. And the disciples were like, "Yay, now you're using plain speech and not figures. Now we know that you know all things and that you have no need for anyone to question you. This is why we believe that you came forth from God." Because they're like, "We had a question and you just said, did you have that, unspoken question?" And he starts answering it. That's only God can do that. And Jesus is like, "Do you now believe? And there's still hours to come where you'll be scattered and leave me alone, but I'm not alone because I have the Father. These things I have spoken to you so that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation. Guaranteed. But take courage. I have overcome the world." And that's why Jesus is everything. We can go through a world of tribulation having peace in him who conquered it all and who's about to make it all new. So, oh, how I love Jesus.